Have you ever had one of those days where your stomach just feels off? Like you look in the mirror and wonder how your belly grew 3 sizes since this morning? So naturally you start playing detective. Was it the bread I had at lunch? Maybe that sparkling water? Or maybe I just ate too fast? We've all been there. And chances are at some point you've heard that bloating is caused by one of these very common things. But here's the truth. Most of the facts people believe about bloating are actually myths. And in this video we're gonna bust them one by one. So grab a comfy seat because today we're diving into the surprising truth behind that puffy feeling and revealing what's really going on inside your gut. Let's start with the obvious one. The myth that bloating is simply a result of overeating. Makes sense, right? You eat a lot, your stomach stretches, and boom, you feel bloated. But the real story is a bit more complicated. Yes, eating large meals can make you feel temporarily full or distended. Scene 2. The real cause of bloating. But bloating isn't always about volume. There are people who eat small, nutrient-dense meals and still feel incredibly bloated. Why? Because bloating often has less to do with how much you eat and more to do with how your body processes it. If you're eating quickly, not chewing properly, or if your digestive enzymes are low, your food may ferment in the gut, causing gas, pressure, and that familiar uncomfortable feeling. Gluten has become the go-to scapegoat for everything from fatigue to acne to, yes, bloating. But unless you've been diagnosed with celiac disease or non-celiac gluten sensitivity, gluten probably isn't your problem. In fact, the vast majority of people tolerate gluten just fine. Next up, the fizzy drink debate. People love to say, you feel bloated because you drank too much soda. And yes, carbonated beverages can introduce gas into your stomach. That's just science. But that gas typically escapes pretty quickly, whether through a burp or naturally through digestion. It's uncomfortable, but it's usually short-lived. The real bloating that sticks around, the kind that makes your pants feel tight for hours, doesn't come from bubbles. It often comes from ingredients inside those drinks, like artificial sweeteners. Let's talk about another common misconception, the idea that bloating means you've gained fat. Let me say this loud and clear, bloating is not the same as weight gain. When your body feels puffy or your belly looks rounder than usual, it doesn't mean you've packed on pounds. Bloating is usually a combination of gas, water retention, and sometimes inflammation, and all of these are temporary. Your weight might fluctuate by a couple of pounds during the day, but that doesn't mean you've gained fat. You could wake up feeling flat, eat a completely normal breakfast, and by lunch, feel like you've expanded. That's not fat, that's digestion at work. Unfortunately, this myth causes a lot of stress and self-judgment, especially for people trying to lose weight or build confidence in their body. So remember, your reflection doesn't always reflect your reality, and your scale certainly doesn't measure your worth. Now let's address one of the more harmful myths floating around, that laxatives or detox teas will flush out bloating. This one's a marketing dream, but a health nightmare. Using these regularly can lead to dehydration, electrolyte imbalances, dependency, and in some cases damage to your natural digestive rhythm. Your body doesn't need help cleansing itself, your liver and kidneys do that all day long. If you want to reduce bloating, the solution isn't to purge, it's to support your body's natural rhythm. Eat fiber, drink water, move, sleep, manage stress. These don't look sexy in a headline, but they work, and they're safe. So now that we've tackled what doesn't work, let's talk about what does. Let's start with chewing. Yep, the thing your mom told you to do when you were 5 years old. Chewing thoroughly is the first and most important step in digestion. When you eat too quickly or barely chew, your stomach has to work overtime to break things down. That delay can lead to fermentation, gas buildup, and, you guessed it, bloating. Next, let's talk about stress. Stress doesn't just mess with your mind, it affects your gut too. The gut-brain connection is powerful. When you're anxious, your body enters fight or flight mode and shuts down digestion. That food just sits there, leading to slower movement, fermentation, and bloating. Another huge factor is fiber, or rather the lack of it. If your diet is low in fiber, your gut bacteria don't have enough fuel to stay balanced. A fiber-rich diet promotes smoother digestion, softer stools, and a healthier microbial environment, all of which help reduce bloating. But here's the trick. Increasing fiber too quickly can actually cause more bloating. Your gut needs time to adjust. So go slow, add fruits, vegetables, legumes, and whole grains gradually, and always pair fiber with water, or it can actually back you up. Speaking of water, hydration is key. Your digestive system needs fluid to move everything through smoothly. If you're dehydrated, your intestines will draw water from your food waste, making everything slower and more difficult to pass. That can lead to gas buildup and, you guessed it again, bloating. Movement is another underrated tool. You don't need to hit the gym to support digestion. Just walking for 10 to 15 minutes after a meal can help stimulate peristalsis, the natural movement of your intestines. It also helps release trapped gas and prevent that heavy, sluggish feeling. So if you're someone who tends to lie down or sit for hours after eating, that could be part of the problem. Even gentle yoga poses, like twists and forward folds, can be super helpful in moving things along. Lastly, hormones play a big role, especially for women. Many women experience bloating as part of their monthly cycle, especially in the days leading up to menstruation. This is due to hormonal shifts that cause the body to retain more water and slow down digestion. It's normal, but it can still feel frustrating. The best way to manage this kind of bloating is with a combination of consistent hydration, reducing salty and processed foods, light movement, and most importantly, patience. It's your body doing its thing. Alright, now that we've laid everything out, let's do a quick recap of the bloating myths we busted today. First, eating too much isn't always the cause. Second, gluten isn't the universal enemy. Third, fizzy drinks aren't the biggest villain. Fourth, bloating doesn't mean you've gained weight. And fifth, detox teas and laxatives are not the answer. The truth is, bloating is complex. It's your body's way of sending a message, and once you understand what it's saying, you can respond with better choices, not fear. So now I want to hear from you. What myth did you used to believe before watching this? Was there one that really surprised you? Drop a comment below and let's talk about it. Because the more we share, the more we learn. And if you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. Every week we break down wellness myths with real science and relatable advice. So whether you're here to beat the bloat, boost your energy, or just understand your body better, this is your space. Thanks so much for watching, and remember, your body isn't broken, it's just asking you to listen. See you in the next video.